Hi everyone!
Hello.
Buttwood here.
Yes.
How are you going, Zach?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've made it through my anxiety attacks that I've had about moving here for now. I'm sure there'll be a ton more. Yeah. So should we catch everyone up on what we've been doing?
Yeah, I can't remember the specific days we did everything, but we can give them a general overview.
Yeah.
Every day has been quite full of things.
I think if we go from the spot that we left off, that could be easiest. Where we left off, I was like, oh, we're going to see Joss tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So we saw Joss, and Joss is amazing. Shout out to Joss if you're watching this. You are a beautiful egg. And I'm so grateful that you have introduced us not only to Berlin, but to other English-speaking people, which I didn't know I needed so badly. And I feel bad about that, but also...
Why do you feel bad? I think it's very normal because we have lots of friends at home, and also everyone speaks English. Not everyone. Most people in Australia and Sydney speak English.
Yeah.
And you and I have pretty active social lives. You also have the people at work as well you can talk to.
Yeah.
And all of that has shrunk down to like one single person.
Yeah, so we've definitely been like, one of our anxieties was worrying that we are going to get really sick of each other because we're like the only people that we can talk to, because literally wherever you go, like 90% of people are speaking German or like another European language, so you don't know what they're saying either. So it's like, you know, when you're like out and about in like an English speaking country, you get that feeling of like, oh, what are other people doing? You get to like people watch but people listen. I didn't realize how much people listening I did until I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah.
When you sit in a cafe and you both go silent because you're listening to the people next to you in their conversation, then you look at each other and you're like, are we both eavesdropping? Yes, we are. Yeah.
The only time we were able to eavesdrop, we went to this amazing cafe in, was it in Friedrichshain?
I don't know what the area is. It's called Factory Girl.
Yeah, so Factory Girl had a really good Google review, and you have to wait to get in. Well, you did over the New Year's period because they were short-staffed. So we really wanted to eat there because their menu was like, mwah. So we waited, and we got in, and there was a couple sitting next to us, and the waiter was speaking to us and to them in English, and they got their coffees, and the man got really like funny about, he thought he had ordered a certain coffee and then was like complaining to the waiter that he got a different kind of coffee.
Yeah, it was like, oh no, a latte is meant to have this and this in it, and look, the color is different and this means this. But then they were like complaining, but then they were also like, oh, but it's okay, but, you know, we just wanted to let you know that this is the wrong order. And the person's like, I'm pretty sure that is that. And they're like, no, look at the cut. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid.
Yeah, he was like mansplaining, well, not maybe mansplaining, just like being a dick about it.
I mean, both of them seemed very like, I was like, are they Italian? Because they're being really douchey about coffee right now.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I thought the only coffee snobs were like Australians, like specifically like Melburnians or like inner west people, but apparently they're everywhere. So yeah, we did that, and then we did some touristy stuff yesterday. We went to Museum Island. Or Museum Incel.
I think it's museums, says an S in there, middle. Museums and cells.
Yeah, I just thought it was really funny that it said incel at the end.
Yeah.
So we saw the Berliner Dom, which is the like really big cathedral. You're not in the shot anymore. Which
Cost
was
€9 to get in there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do I really want to give money to the Catholic Church? But I looked up photos and I was like, oh, I really want to see it.
That was cool.
It was really cool.
They had like a nativity scene.
Yeah.
I didn't point it out to you at the time, but they gave Mary like a 5-head.
Oh.
Very large forehead.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Oh, I thought you meant she had 5 heads. I was like, wow.
Her hairline was like all the way back here somewhere.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
that's
They also had a really big organ, which was beautiful. Yeah, and there was a Christmas tree in there, which was cute.
We tried to go to some of the other museums, but they were also paid. So we're just going to go back when you can get a pass for like the whole island, because there's like, I don't know, like at least 5 museums in there.
Yeah, so apparently there's heaps of museums that are free in Berlin, but it seems like on Museum Island, most of them cost money, probably because it's like a real big touristy spot. But we went to one museum which was a palace.
Mm.
And
in like from like, I think it was like from like the 12th century.
Yeah.
Through to like the 20th century.
Yeah, and over time, I guess the land and what they built there had changed. Like it was a palace for ages, and it was what's the word I'm looking for? Inhabited.
Mm.
It's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the idea, by like different important people over time, because it was
like royalty and stuff, and then there were revolutions and they kind of kicked them out, and like, but then they came back, and I don't know, it was like really up and down.
Yeah, because like in the 60s, was it the 60s? No, the 20s. In the 1920s, it was used for like political things, and like activists would work in there. They would have like art stuff in there, and it seemed like it was used for like really interesting like social stuff, but like in a good way.
I don't know if it's well, activists at that time, you don't know what their angle is.
Yeah, I guess. But
So, because that's like kind of the rise of like, it led to the rise of Nazism and stuff. So there was definitely different things happening at that time. There was just like people that had very strong political views that would use that space for those political views. We don't know what they were. Question mark.
Yeah, I guess so. In my brain, the 1920s is just like a really, utopian time where like queerness was just around and it wasn't like policed in any kind of way.
I don't know.
I don't know if it was like that in Germany. Anyway, and then at a different point, it got completely demolished after it got bombed. And then it was used by the communists for a very different like vibe, and they like rebuilt it to make this like quite intense like shiny building.
I think they wanted to show off that communism would lead to prosperity. So they built this thing which like now is like ugly, but I'm sure back then it was like really like swish and modern.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's ugly. It was ugly. I don't know, especially, I mean, you compare anything to something that was built like centuries ago, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. But then they closed it because of asbestos.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fell into disrepair.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Well, then Germany was reunited again after, like the Berlin Wall came down and stuff, so...
And then they were like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And they rebuilt it.
Yeah, they fully rebuilt it to look like, I guess, the palace originally.
Yeah.
Partially.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
But then they kept one part of it, like, they made it quite modern, and that's where the museum was. Is that right? Is that where we were?
Yeah. And then, they had really cool museum exhibitions in there. I think that anyone who has an interest in history or has studied history will find it interesting how they've laid out their exhibitions.
Yeah.
So it's very like critical of history. It's critical of the lens that you view history through. It was just really interesting. I'd never seen a museum take such a academic approach.
Yeah, I think that's a really good word for it, because you could tell that they had really unpacked the idea of museums and, you know, how they have existed over time, and how, you know, museums, especially in like Western countries, have a very like colonial history, and, you know, you've got heaps of artifacts that have been stolen after wars and things, and after like genocides and things like that. So a lot of the exhibitions had replicas. They could have been all replicas. I couldn't work out if they were all replicas or not, but
I think they probably were.
Most of them, yeah. Their whole lens was that they don't want to keep artifacts from these, you know, populations, communities, countries anymore. They want to give them back. So they had a lot of like interviews with people from like Namibia, like political leaders and stuff, about how they're trying to give it back. And it was really amazing. Like, I just hope that Australia can get to a point where they have like a really critical lens about its history. But who knows?
What else do we do?
We
got like a shitload of bakery goods for $4.
Yeah, can you see behind us? Here, I'll hold up. This is a jam donut. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna get the sugar everywhere. But we got this giant bag, right? So this is the bag. Big thank you to Joss. So this bag was filled from here. It was like spilling over the top of baked goods. Joss told us about this app called
Too Good To Go.
Too Good To Go. And Liz will remember this app. I can't remember what it's called, where restaurants and stuff would give away their food at the end of the day for like really cheap. There was an Australian app that did it, but it was a bit shit. But Too Good To Go seems really decent.
Yeah, so there's so many bakeries here there, and it's all fresh every day. So they have like a shitload of baked goods at the end of the day, and yeah, it's like €3-4. You pay it, you go pick it up. They just like literally load you up with as much as they can, and they're like, have fun, goodbye.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Is it just bakeries?
No, it's not just bakeries, but I think that they are the ones that usually have a lot to get rid of.
Yeah, because it doesn't stay fresh for very long.
Yeah, it probably also depends which area you're in. I think there's just a lot of bakeries around here specifically.
So yeah, we got like a fuck ton of baked goods. Yeah, that was that day, I think. Oh, this was yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. We also got an Amazon delivery, and we went to the Amazon post box, and I was like, how on earth do you open this? Because it's just like a slate of mailboxes, but there's no like key to get in, there's no like screen to tap into, and I was like, how does this even work? And basically you have to connect your Bluetooth to the Amazon parcel box locker, and once it like has connected you just click a button that's like open my parcel box, and it just pops out at you. Like, it was amazing. I mean, I don't condone using Amazon, but we were pretty desperate for these items. Yeah.
Plus, it's just like easier as well to know how to find certain things.
Yeah.
On Amazon, as opposed to going into, and because like obviously the stores here are slightly different. Like, you have drugstores which are not pharmacies and are kind of like Kmart, but like have some health things, and then like chemists which are really tiny and like.
And they just dispense prescriptions, really.
Yeah, trying to navigate that while also there being like a language barrier, and just like it can be easier to just get stuff online, I think.
Yeah. I think one of the other reasons we chose Amazon was because we're in an Airbnb right now and we don't have anywhere you can post to. So this is like an option where you can just like post to this locker and get that out. And they seem to be like in a lot of places. Anyway, what else have we done today?
Yeah, Brandenburg tour.
Oh yeah.
Brandenburg Gate, which is has a stage in front of it for New Year's. So
Yeah.
you couldn't really see it properly, but we managed to get a selfie at a certain angle, which is fun.
It was very cool. I really liked the Brandenburg tour. It was where everybody like gathered and celebrated when they reunited East and West Berlin, and it's just a really cool spot. Yeah, and we got Zach some new sneakers from Decathlon. They have Decathlon here.
Yeah.
And
then we went to Foot Locker in the Mall of Berlin, and they had sneakers on a massive discount. It was like 160 down to 50. I bought mine for like 80, and I was like, well.
We went to, we mentioned before that we went to a meetup with other English-speaking people, and it was really nice. It was in like this beautiful old bookstore that was owned by this old woman who like used it as a community space.
Well, initially she just wanted some place to put her books and turn it into like a library, but only for people that she liked the vibe of.
Yeah.
And then I guess it kind of turned into a bookstore as well. But yeah, she passed away earlier this year, which is sad because she sounds like a sick cunt.
Yeah, fully. Apparently one person's vibe was really off, and
She threw a plate at them.
She threw a plate at them to get them out of the store.
Yeah, that was really cute.
Yeah,
it was
really cute.
Yeah, it's very much what you picture like a secondhand bookstore to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually an English bookstore as well, specifically. So yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. Shall we end it with what we're going to try to do tonight?
Sure.
What are we going to try to do tonight?
Go to Berghain.
Yeah.
For New Year's. The New Year's party starts on midnight.
The 30th.
Well, midnight the 31st. I don't know. The midnight, that's the 30th to the 31st.
Yeah, so...
24 hours before New Year's.
Yeah. So we're trying to work out what time we're going to leave. Because we're like, how long are we going to last? We don't know how long the line's going to be.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. What did you find?
Oh, Zach, maybe we can bake a cake while we're here.
Show it to us.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Auf Wiedersehen.